Hi, it is no accident that you are watching this. My name is Naidoo, and I'm a biomedical research scientist and an instigator of wellness. And I have with me today Judy Umraw, and you're going to hear all about her amazing self shortly. We are doing this video in order to bring attention to what we as human beings call insurmountable in our life. You see, 5 years ago, I was diagnosed with not one, but 4 incurable conditions. I was diagnosed with relapsing remitting multiple sclerosis, which further went on to secondary progressive multiple sclerosis, which is a disorder of the brain and spinal cord. Then I was diagnosed with a severe form of rheumatoid arthritis, followed by Hashimoto's thyroiditis and fibromyalgia. Yes, Judy, I was riddled with symptoms. I was in pain from the top of my head to my toes. I had tingling and burning sensation throughout my body. My insides were burning up. I had severe constipation, diarrhea, incontinence, fatigue. I could barely keep my head up. Whenever I bent my head forward, I had a shooting, sharp pain and a burst of pain really that ran down my spine. The MS hug was so severe, it's a crushing pain around the rib cage. And the symptoms go on and on. And you know, lying in my bed in fetal position, the depression set in, and that was really hard. It was hard on my marriage, it was hard on my family. And with discussions with my family, we came to realize that the first case of MS entered the medical textbooks in 1868. This was 151 years ago, Judy. With all the advancements in medical science, we still don't have a way to cure autoimmune conditions. And then I realized we are knocking on the wrong door. And we started to look at the human body in a different way. The father of modern medicine, Hippocrates, said, "Let food be thy medicine, and let medicine be thy food." It was Albert Einstein who said, "Everything in the universe is in a state of vibration. Every flower, every rock, every cell in the human body has its own color, its own sound, and its own frequency vibration." Now, using my knowledge on biochemistry and my passion for quantum physics, Judy, I decided to look at the human body in a different way. And it took me 6 months of trial and error, and we came up with a formula that reversed all of my symptoms. So sitting here today, I am 100% symptom-free. And I'm loving this. You know, the doctors were so excited, the MS Society was so excited, and all my friends said, "Come on, Mala, you need to put this information in a book for all of us to practice it, because this is amazing what you have done." And we went ahead and did that. And it's in the book called A Flaming Challenge. And the Take Charge Wellness Formula, it's in the book, and it describes everything that I've been through. And like you know, at the book launches, people were so excited about it. And the book's very, very new. We've just launched it in May 2019. So we're very excited to send this information out. And I'm so excited to see that you came on board and wanted to take this book to an all new level so that the patients around the world know that there is hope. When I started this road to wellness, it was like climbing an insurmountable mountain. Judy, you know what that feels like.
Before I tell you about my story, let me introduce myself. My name is Judy Umraw. I'm a motivational speaker and a professional dancer. Well, I started off not knowing that this is going to be one of my checklists, but when I actually started doing this, the training for this, I realized that I had the potential to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. I did this not only for my own self-realization, but also to give hope to others. And Mala, I think giving hope to the MS patients was one of the reasons, apart from the charities that I climbed for. And if I look at what was in the book and your life story, I compare it to my journey as well, and also to the people around me during this journey. And I found that, you know what, the power within yourself is so great that at any part of your life's journey, you can ignite this power. and feel, that you can conquer what's within yourself. And by the way, I didn't go to conquer that mountain. I went to conquer my fears.
Well said, yes.
And this is what it was all about. People normally say you climb a mountain, you conquer that mountain. But I think with self-realization, you conquer your fears, you conquer certain, emotions that you haven't dealt with. And I think that's what also causes different diseases, or should I say dis-eases. So when you actually in that place and time, and you actually seeing what's going on around you and inside of you, you come to a place that you say, well, I either do it or don't do it.
Yes.
So for me, this was a lot of introspection. This climb actually made me also realize that it was not only for my benefit, but I was giving hope to other people. And as you know, I carried that book with me all the time, knowing that this was the courage and the determination that I was actually with this book, saying, you know what, when I reach the top there, I'm going to show the patients that, listen, you're going to go through all the hurdles, all the ailments, all the symptoms, but at the end of the day, if you actually do what you are asked to do or guided to do, like the book guides you to do, you're going to actually be successful.
Absolutely. And you didn't just, decide, okay, I'm climbing Kilimanjaro. Mala doesn't have one condition, she's got 4.
That's
so
it.
I'm going to do it in a sari.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, actually, the sari was, to promote my culture. And also, with, as you know, at the moment, we are fighting against women violence, children abuse. So I thought that was a good way to actually promote and enhance, the message out there, create awareness that, women, it's a no-no against, violence against women and children. So yeah, the sari was significant in that part as well.
Tell us how difficult it was doing it in that sari, Judy.
Well, I must say, wearing the sari is so graceful and such a beautiful garment to wear. I did train in the sari, but because of the terrain and in Mount Kilimanjaro, I didn't expect it to be so difficult, because I had to climb boulders. I had very unsturdy, rocky surfaces, and sometimes they were wet, slippery. And here I had all my gear, my thermal gear inside, and I had the sari wrapped around me, and it wasn't conducive of that environment. So yes, it was difficult, but I just kept it strong. I knew the purpose was there. That kept me determined to wear that sari every day. And apart from that, that sari, actually, the significance, the essence of everybody signing on that sari made it all so much better for me, made it so much easier for me to cope each day when I had my downs. When I looked at those signatures, when I looked at the names, it just gave me that extra boost. And I think, when you're suffering from any ailments or you're going through any dis-ease, you need that encouragement. Absolutely. I think that is so important.
Yes.
Without encouragement, love, acknowledgement, you cannot achieve certain things in
I like
life.
what you said about the environment wasn't conducive to you doing it in a sari. It just wasn't there. And in the same way, when I was healing, I had to recreate my environment because it wasn't a healing environment that I was sitting in. And I had to make sure, that everything was enhancing what I was doing. And you didn't have that opportunity. You chose that difficulty and you wanted to persevere through it. And I must tell you, autoimmune patients, patients diagnosed with MS, it is difficult, just when you think you're coming right and then you hit again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I also, know what you're saying exactly. Because sometimes, you reach a certain point in the mountain and you think, okay, from here it's going to be smooth sailing.
Yeah.
I've come to the point and, where I can now relax. But you don't know what is, the curveballs are always going to be thrown at you.
Yes.
Because each new day has each new things to give to you. I mean, there was one day out of the blues while we were climbing, and it started to rain heavily, and we had hailstones as well. And according to the guide, it was not rainy season.
Wow.
So this is what happens in life as well. You think you're getting better, and then all of a sudden another symptom might hit you.
Exactly. I mean, I can relate to that. I thought I was really doing well, and my family had put their lives on hold for me. And there was this rugby match on, and I encouraged them. The avid supporters of the Sharks in our country, and they wanted to go down and see the game, and I insisted they go and leave me alone. I said I'll be fine, and they left, and I was getting ready for bed, and I had this feeling of absolute nausea, and I moved towards the bathroom, and I'm glad I did. As I got there, I reached the toilet bowl, and I started vomiting, and just vomited, and I was sitting, down, and then suddenly I realized my legs are not working anymore. I could not pick myself up. There was no phones near me, and then the urge to vomit was there again, and I continued doing that. And Judy, I was on that floor for 4 hours. I was exhausted, I was in pain, and the nausea was overwhelming. And these are some of the things I had to go through, and it's outlined in the book, how I came through all of it. And you were going through similar challenges there.
It. And talking about nausea now, nausea is something that hits you anytime, anyway. Sometimes you just feel a funny feeling and it's there. I mean, on the mountain as well, nausea was the main symptom that was something that people could see happening to you. And with altitude sickness, or as you get higher, altitude plays games with your body.
Yeah.
And nausea is one way of showing that your body's not right. There is something happening because of the altitude.
Yes.
You can be how physically fit, but when altitude hits your body, it will come out in different ways. And the symptoms like headaches, which we can't see, another person suffering from headaches, but nausea you can. And with the nausea, I found most people around me had it, and I was like so scared now, when I'm gonna get it, because everybody else around you is gonna get it.
Yes.
And waiting for that to happen. But with the breathing exercises that I've done, and I tried to be calm, and also the meditation. The meditation actually kept me very calm. It made me feel like, I had the power to actually control my exterior. Maybe I couldn't control the interior so much because of emotions, but I had the tools to control the exterior. And I must, I feel very grateful and blessed that not a single day I felt nauseous. So that was actually quite good.
And you told me even your guide started vomiting.
Yes, actually that was one of my, I won't call it a highlight, but one of my downs for the climb. The day of the summit, my guide felt ill, and he was nauseating, and he was weak, and seeing that actually made me give up hope. It made me give up hope because he was somebody experienced who did this as a daily thing.
That's right.
And this was my first time.
Wow.
And when he started with the nausea, all I could do was just comfort him, and give him some water. And in the mountain, we're not allowed to sit. We got to get moving all the time because if you sit, then you start to freeze.
Right.
So I held him and we walked very slowly. But yes, so as I said, he's a fit 22-year-old person, and the nausea just hit him. So
what I'm excited, what I see here, some of the techniques you used on the mountain is exactly the techniques I used to create homeostasis in my body. And all of this is outlined in the book, Judy, in A Flaming Challenge. It's full of tools and techniques that we can all use to create homeostasis in the human body. And you did this on the mountain. And like you said, you were symptom-free.
Yes.
And today I am 100% symptom-free. I'm not in remission, there is no word to describe me, because I follow the formula, then I know I am symptom free. When I deviate from the formula, then I do get symptoms. So we had to create a new word for me. It is called Malawell.
Well, I love that. Malawell
Yeah.
sounds very good.
And that's the word we're using. And the description for Malawell you will see up on the screen now. Yeah. So what other challenges you encountered there, Judy?
Well, apart from the, people getting sick around me, I would say my challenge was missing home, the comforts of different things like,
Yeah.
and also, the introspective or the thing that really hit me is that we take life for granted. We take things in life for granted.
Yes.
And like, a drop of water is so precious because we were actually given, a certain amount every day, and we had to make use of it. And here at home, we just open the tap and water's there.
Yes.
So yeah, I've learned a lot. It's actually life-changing.
Yeah.
This journey was definitely life-changing for me.
No, thank you so much, Judy. To think that when you summited, I know you told me you just have a few minutes on the top because there's so little oxygen being provided for your lungs. And in those few minutes, you had the courage to take out the book and pose for us on Mount Kilimanjaro for all those patients out there. And I want to say a huge thank you on behalf of all the autoimmune patients diagnosed with MS, patients that are told, their condition is incurable. Thank you for giving us hope. Because of what you've done, I hope people will take the message out there and encourage people that there is a way to heal this human body. The divine intelligence within the human body is awesome. It is there. We just need to step out of its way. Our body knows how to heal itself. So I want to say thank you for making this journey and thinking about us and what we go through. You were telling me how slippery those rocks were, how difficult it was taking the next step. You with your Sarie, and you persevered, so many times I fell. I wanted to give up while I was doing this. Because just when I thought I got it, the MS symptoms would hit me. The depression would knock even harder. And I had to persevere because I also felt if I can do this, there's so many other patients out there that can do this too. And it's an opportunity for us to, just tell the world that don't give up. We can do this. And if you could do this, Judy, so can the rest of the people. Yeah. So what final message do you have for the patients out there?
I think, what I would like to say is that every one of us has a mountain in our life. And it's how you perceive that mountain and how you embrace yourself to climb that mountain. When I say embrace yourself, I mean your introspection, how you look at that mountain. Because different people will view and vision that mountain differently. And if you do it positively, positive things will happen to you. And I'm glad that, irrespective of all the hurdles and the challenges I've had, I've given people hope that, especially the autoimmune community,
yes.
I've given them hope that, no matter what curveballs are thrown your way, stand up, be positive, and have hope.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I just want to say to all the autoimmune patients out there, to all the patients that feel there is no hope for whatever they're diagnosed with, when medical science says that we have an incurable condition, what they actually mean is we need to go in to make it curable. Thank you so much for listening.